Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town Angeles City Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride around Angeles City till I can't no more. I got the horses in the back, horse tack is attached, hat is matted black, got the boots that's black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your trike. I've been in the valley of Angeles City, you ain't been up off the porch now. Can't nobody tell me nothing, you can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing, you can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, leaning with a red horse, beer, cheated on my baby. You can go and ask her, my life is a movie, Wrangler on my booty. Can't nobody tell me nothing, you can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing, you can't tell me nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town Angeles City Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride around Angeles City till I can't no more. Whoa.
Hey guys, how you guys doing today?
Hey, good morning, and good evening, guys. What is going on? Oh, jeez. Yeah, get stuff together there. You awake there, George?
Yeah, I'm okay.
How about we interview you today and find out what's going on? You've been getting sleep?
Yeah,
What it is you've been still attending the live streams and still doing your thing and working and everything else? I can get some sleep. What's wrong?
oh, nothing. Just checking to see if he's there.
Yeah. You need to drink your coffee.
Yeah, I know.
I set your coffee up this morning.
President's Day today?
That's okay. Not now.
What's that?
Yeah, just I don't know. Is it President's Day?
No. Morning guys, how you guys doing today? Have a wonderful evening or wonderful morning, depending on where you're at. It's a lovely day today here where we're at. Mostly sunny, just little sprinkles here and there.
Why are you looking at me?
What?
I don't know. All right, guys, I'm just going to get to it while George wakes up here. Today, we're going to cover an American expat that's living here in Angeles City that is struggling. And we're going to give you some basics about this guy, okay? Understand that this guy has been here for 40 years as an expat, and allegedly he is living in the Angeles City area, if I didn't say that already. And December, I believe it was December of 2023. He was in another accident. So the guy's had a lot of accidents and since he's actually been here, but the most recent one severed his foot, and he's been recovering from that. And I have some questions on what's going on that situation. Because, like we said, if his foot was that injured, we're wondering how he's still riding around on his motorcycle and as
Big
sick
bike.
as he
Big.
is.
It's a 650 Ninja Kawasaki, I believe. It's a big bike. So what I'm saying is, it's anybody who rides motorcycles will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So it's anything short of a miracle if he's as sick as he is and all that, and he's still riding. And he must be a real trooper with that bad of a foot that he's still riding and everything. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody if they're, as sick as this guy is. But the guy is a veteran, was in the military. And so we're going to cover this guy today because there's going to be a lot of questions about like his medical, which will be a topic of conversation about medical in the Philippines. It's going to be a topic of, like he said, he's struggling financially. So there's a financial issue. In reading in the expat forum about him a couple weeks ago, we went back in. Doesn't seem to be any update since the 9th about him. But he really was in there, like going back and forth with people. And they're like, listen, dude, you put your life out there, and you're asking about selling items and this, and that. I'm curious why he's not selling his bike myself, if he's really needing money for funds. But the question comes into play also is that we know medical bills are expensive. But according to him, he gets 3,800 US dollars a month. So his regular, everyday stuff should be okay. So in other words, he's not in a hospital paying all these additional bills, and I would say he's complaining about the cost of blood thinner at some point with 3,800 US, and we withdraw half of that a month that we're going through. And we have other money. I'm just saying, when we go to withdraw that kind of money each month to pay bills and do whatever we're going to do, and he's got 3,800 that he's got coming in. I'm trying to figure some things out, why he's selling a bunch of used items to pay for whatever that he is. So that will be the topic of conversation today. So what are you thinking about? Yeah, I think he's on disability and a veteran.
Well, no, the money makes sense. He's a veteran and he's on disability. The money makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's not my question. Actually, it's kind of like a two in one. What I'm saying is it possible that he's not selling his motorcycle? I'm not saying he should, but is it possible he's not selling the motorcycle because he's making payments?
Yeah, it's possible. Because people had mentioned, you're selling a used fish tank and everything. I guess we can put up, I can go through more of a story, and then we'll go in and go through the comments afterwards, like let George wake up. Here, drink some of your coffee there. You enjoying your new cup there?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you drink your coffee, and we will bring up some stuff on this guy. All right. So here is Larry L. Bacon. We'll be referring to him just as Bacon from here on out.
Really?
Could you imagine being called that in the military? Bacon, 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 bacon. Or we can just call him Bacon Strip now that he's in strips. No?
I'm sure Kevin Bacon hear this all the time.
Okay, Mr. Bacon. Okay, I want to start with talking about the initial accidents. And this is stuff that we've gotten from his page and stuff that's been put out, okay, over the net. Okay, this is not a personal interview. Now, this morning, I thought maybe we could get him to come on and, tell us about what's going on with him and everything. Who knows? He may even come in the room. Okay, so according to him, 2 dump trucks ran over his legs in 1987 in Dagupan.
Dagupan.
All right, thank you. From a hit and run. Took him 18 months to walk again. Okay. And let's see. All right. You can just go through and as I'm telling this. And then also in 1989, again, 18 months to walk, in 1989 in Subic Bay, he got thrown from a motorcycle and broke his neck in 6 places and yet walked again. It took him a year to walk again. Then in December of 2023, his foot was partially severed on a motorcycle accident where, as I'm to understand, I may not get it right. They always say that we don't get these things right. It's because there's multi things out there. I think he said that he was kind of crushed by a truck up against like going up over a bridge, and the bridge has the little side parts, and he was kind of pushed up against there, so it was not at fault. Okay, but where we're at with him is he's lived 40 years in the Philippines. When people have asked him why he has not gone back for medical treatment for all the medical things that he's been talking about, okay, pause, please. Okay, gotcha. Is that he did go back and tried to get help from the VA. It's kind of the same as that's going on with Campbell. You get there, you don't have a place to live. He couldn't get housing set up. He relied on him. He said he ended up homeless. So he said he attempted that twice. And then he said in 94, he became disabled and went on Social Security disability, SSDI, like I am. And I guess that may be 94. So he must have came beforehand because he says he's been here for 40 years. But 94, he ended up with disability. And in 2016, it showed VA disability. He currently has a caregiver to help him. He has a caregiver to help him. And let's see. He was talking about the cost of the medication and everything. And that's about all I got, is that he was diagnosed during all of this with cancer and stage 3 heart failure, being told that he has 6 to 12 months to actually live. So now it looks like he's selling his things, and now his whole story's been out there, and he's posted a few times. Looks like he's, I think, initially from Washington and currently living in Angeles City. So this guy has been through it all. By the way, according to him in some of his statements, he does some sort of religious stuff now. So I don't have the full deal on that, like born again situation. That all I gotta say, it's a lot of tattoos. That is a lot of tattoos. Looks like he invested a lot of money on that.
Well, he likes tats. A lot of people actually like tats.
Yeah, so a lot to process on here. That he's a veteran, that he has attempted to go back. He's getting a substantial income. As for the Philippines, that's really a good income for a single guy. And the problem came into is end stages of life here in the Philippines, whether you just become 85 and you're going to need care. Everything that happens to you in the United States will be happening here. So you're going to need some sort of caregiver, family members. A better plan than just like what's happening with him is it looks like he's not insured. Now, my question would be is why TRICARE and all that is not setting it. Maybe you guys can tell me why TRICARE. I know TRICARE is accepted here. As a matter of fact, at AU and a few of the other hospitals, it is. So I don't know why he's not using that type of insurance to help with things. I mean, is TRICARE given automatically? Are you paying, is that coming out of a pension? But if he's getting $3,800 a month, why would you not keep paying something like that? So if it's an insurance that's covering, I don't know a whole lot about TRICARE. Not even going to pretend that I do. Maybe Ted, you can tell me about the TRICARE thing. But yeah, there's something. I mean, I know it's going to be limited on VA based on, on the qualifications, but TRICARE is accepted here at the hospitals. And I don't know exactly what it covers, but I know that he's talking about the payments for blood thinners. Okay, so blood thinner costs Even if it costs $200 a month, I know it can be expensive. Then why he's not paying for it out of 3,800? It wouldn't make sense at that income. We would be paying for it if it was needed. So
Ted says VA will pay aid in attendance. He's not eligible for TRICARE. He's not retired military. Aid in attendance, he can't get TRICARE. So no, he doesn't have TRICARE.
he's not retired military. Oh, okay. Interesting. So, okay, so that's who actually qualifies for it. Yeah. Interesting. So, yeah.
Well,
So,
there's a lot of questions because, again, first off, we're not going to pretend that we know everything about Mr. Bacon. I mean, we really don't. And what I'm getting at is, for instance, we don't know his living expenses, his lifestyle. I mean, 3,800 is a lot. However, again, like I said, my suspicion is the bike could be on payments. I don't know.
he could be hitting the bar every night. Who knows?
It could be.
He
But
could be eating a steak and
his
butter diet.
living conditions are different too, as well. I'm saying is, again, it's up to you if you want to live in like a 10,000 peso apartment or a 38,000 peso apartment, which has the exact same square footage. I mean, you know,
Didn't exactly the photos being shown that he was living in
well, that's
wide open space.
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
He does have a lot of animals. Looks like
Oh yeah, that's another
he
thing.
has. I
He
seen
does.
a Rottweiler in the
He
photos.
does
And
have a lot of pets, and that costs a lot of money.
yeah, we
And
go
these are
to up
not
to 200 a month here
these are
for
not little
pets.
tiny dogs. These are he's got Rottweilers, he's got Chow Chows. Yeah,
Seen a
no.
lizard. He had fish
And
tanks.
bigger dogs means a lot of food.
Yeah, with just the flea oils and the cat and dog food and the cats outside
Yeah, I
that we
mean,
feed. We're about 200 a month.
dog food is
We're-
expensive. It's more expensive than human food, like we always say. Pet food is more expensive than human
But
food here.
3,800, that's quite a bit on a on a high month. If we like go to a resort like our birthday month, we may blow through 2,500, and that's us eating out all the time, birthday, gifts to each other, and traveling, extra gas, and all of that. And that's
Well,
at 2,500.
and remember,
It's
he's got a. I'm not quite sure what the relationship is, meaning professional wise or otherwise, as far as
the
his
caregiver.
caregiver. Correct. What I'm saying is that even at the cheap, even if you hire a cheap caregiver, that still adds up. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I actually, now that I think about it, it's probably the pets that are like draining him. I mean,
I bet it's the caregiver draining him. Sorry, because if you're paying her even 800 a month, that's give or take 38,000 pesos a month. That would still be a lot of money to pay a caregiver. You can get a housekeeper for 300 live in. I bet she's living in. So even at live in, 800 a month would still be, that's still 3,000. Who knows? Even if he's got expensive animals and the bikes, but it depends on the treatment he needs to. Again, guys, this is a topic of conversation. It's bacon is what's on the table today.
well, it looks like he has one bike. I mean, I think he just started with the basic and then he had a lot of work done on it.
I'm still trying to figure out when he said that he has seizures, how he had a seizure and then continued on with his biking. He said that recently.
Well, that's concerning, but I mean, I get it.
What's concerning is your coffee habit there.
Well, some people. I know a lot of people who have seizures and shouldn't be driving, but they're driving anyway.
They should. We shouldn't. And sorry, no, we know that people will, but that's really concerning.
And I'm not picking on anybody, but if you're prone to seizures, especially with strobing lights, you shouldn't be driving in the Philippines. Because it's very common here that whenever Filipinos drive, their warning is usually they strobe their lights. And I'm not just talking about like they flash their lights. Some of them have built-in strobes that it just goes. it's like a warning. So
Hey,
if you're
Killer
prone,
Maze.
if you're one of those people, which I don't know, I honestly I've never met anybody who's prone to strobing lights and have a seizure. But if you are one of those people, you really shouldn't be driving.
What?
What?
I have to direct.
Yeah, I mean I don't know what you mean. Macy says, "Hey George and Heidi, kumusta ka?" Ted says he would be getting about $7,000 total. Wow, that's a lot.
Probably between 7,000 for both disability and
That would be my guess. Yes, because the disability.
he said
No, I know,
3,800.
but the 38 is, I believe, is just his disability, to my understanding.
Okay, well, when I was reading through his comments, many people came back and said, you mentioned a while back you're getting a total of 38, but maybe it was just for the disability. But still, I'm still curious that we spend a lot of things extra. No, we don't have hundreds of thousands in the bank for savings, but monthly 2,000 is really good right now for us. Could we use more if there's an emergency, like going into the hospital or something? Sure. But on a monthly basis. And so, in other words, what I'm saying is even at 3,800, he should be socking away 800 a month easy. And just like I was hearing this financial advisor, this guy was going through and he was blaming like his divorce. He was blaming, he goes, the advisor was like, why haven't you saved any money? Because the guy says that he's 56 years old or something. He says, I had an ex-wife that was a spender and all she liked to do was spend my money. And he couldn't control that. So in other words, he was blaming, blaming, and blaming. And in the manner he said, okay, well, if that was 15 years ago, what are you doing now? And he goes, why haven't you saved anything at this point now that you're still making good money and everything? He had nothing to say. And I'm just curious on this guy, when I think about that, is before all of this, what had been happening to the money, you know, if he's getting 38 to 7,800 a month, what's going on, you know?
No, I mean that's understandable. And Ted
So
also says
no
that whoever's
kids.
giving him aid is getting paid from his aid money. I'm sure he's getting. They moved him to 100% disability when he determined to be cancer and deathbed for sure. What Ted was talking about, remember the 3,800? I believe it's 3,800 and change for max disability, I believe, and that's why Ted says it's 7,000 total. Because, like I said, the 3,800, I believe. I'm not an ex-military, so don't quote me on this. I believe 3,800 is max for disability.
Okay, so yeah. Until recently, I didn't realize how much the military people here, there's a lot of military guys here, how much they were getting. There's quite a few of them that are on some sort of disability, and then they're getting, multi checks. They had pensions. So
Yeah.
I know that.
Professor says caregivers get paid by VA aid and attendance also. Yeah. Just real
And that
quick.
includes Filipino ones that aren't citizens. It doesn't matter that they're living in another country. Do
It
they just
depends if they
apply
filed
for
it.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know they were talking about Rose getting some sort of
Yeah.
check for
They can
taking
if
care
they
of
filed it. Yeah.
yeah. I know that they have I know that in the United States they're talking about with Social Security, they're talking about giving, like better pay for the aides and everything. But I was wondering, the same with the VA, the the aid attendants. So yeah.
Yeah. And just real quick, I've never ridden a bike here, just so you guys know. Does George have a bike or a scooter? Had. In the US, I had motorcycles and scooters at the same time. Yes, because what I'm trying to get at is, guys, it doesn't matter what country you're in, don't use a motorcycle as a daily driver. Please.
Especially here, yeah.
Yeah, especially here. I mean, obviously you're an expat. If you can afford it, don't use a motorcycle as a daily driver, please.
Yeah, we just have the e-trike, which is 3 wheels.
Yeah.
So that we do have. and then he has the car. So
Yeah.
we've discussed on and off getting some sort of e-scooter, something that we, instead of like making sure the e-trike is fully charged up to just jump on it and hit up the street, but we haven't done that. What are them, about 20,000 pesos?
Well, it depends on the model. If you know the guy, if you know a guy, you can get him for as cheap as 10,000 pesos. But if you don't know a guy, you can get a somewhat an average one for 20,000.
Okay.
I mean, shoot, you can get a full size motorcycle for 30,000. Although I don't recommend that, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Just
Hey,
the VA.
Sarah.
Yeah, see, I was right. Yeah, just the VA, 3,800 for his 100% disability. Correct. Yes, and we'll add 3,500 for aid and attendance, so over 7,000.
Gotcha.
There is a VA rep guy in the Angel City who helps. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So what?
then
Yeah,
it
when you said
is.
3,800, I was like, that.
So then what's up then? Why is he, and in my appearance, desperate to sell a bunch of old used stuff? That is really old stuff after money. Seems kind of odd. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't give a shit who it actually offends or whatever. But when I seen this guy selling super old looking items for money, saying that he's at his end stage, I was thinking a lot of people did go through and question him, and he's questioning blood thinners. So at this kind of money, that would be gold in here. Do you realize how much money that is?
No, it's
It's
a lot
almost
of
four
money. Yeah.
times more. We can spend 1,500 to 2,000 a month, and we never delay, picking up a phone and ordering something or having something delivered, or if we need something on Lazada, able to take care of pet bills, basic, like a little bit of dental, a little bit of car work, gas, and we don't have problems with it. But I can't imagine. It's got to be that it's down to, I don't know. I mean, he's not in the hospital actually paying the bill, so I'm just curious. So, hey, good morning,
Yeah.
Brian. Billy's in the house. What
Hey,
is up?
hey, Brian. Good morning, George and Heidi.
Good morning.
Hillbilly says, I want to know why do so many drive with no light? Right? No, they do. That's one of my pet peeves. They're so dangerous on the roads. I pass a few trikes. Trikes. Oh my gosh. Yes, they drive around at night without any lights. The only reason why you know they're there because you can see the car in front of you and all of a sudden it disappears. You're like, there's something in front of me. I passed a few trikes last night and I had lots of room, but there was a trike in the other lane, so no lights. No, no, they try to be so cheap that apparently changing a light bulb for 50 pesos is not worth their life. I hate to say it, but dude, change your light bulb. It's probably 50 pesos, 100 pesos, depending on which light is dead, but your life isn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because their tail lights and stuff like that or headlights, they burn off and they don't replace them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but no, it's one of those things. Yeah, also, Ted also says that what do you call it? Where was it? Here it is. The veteran gets the money and pays it out. VA rate 100% for single is 30. Yeah, 38 and change. Yes, 38, 3,831 and 50. Single veteran gets 2,358 for aid and attendance. There you go. Yeah.
Interesting. It's a lot of tattoos, man. I can't get over. George was talking about the size of his bike. I don't know. It's just for me not that practical in Angeles City. And he's got all these medical problems. Now, maybe he bought it a while back. Like you said, maybe he's in payments now, but he's still riding it when he knows he's prone to. I don't get it. Some of those things just, flatten me out on when you can get into a cab, or with that kind of money. I'm going to tell you right now, like we went yesterday to go do the NBI check for the third time. And by the way, that was really fun.
Well, we can't say what happened.
Well,
at the
yeah,
other
yeah. We'll
place,
just let you know that we can't say what happened and why
yeah, they told us an inside thing that we can't share, but
Well, but that doesn't make any sense unless they were worried about being in other issues, because I don't know. But So we went for the NBI check, but we went over to Clark.
Yeah.
And it was fine. They claimed there was supposed to be a special hand machine, which there's not. And so it's put me behind by about a month now, just to get an appointment and do all this stuff. So when we went over there, the I don't know, but I forgot where I was going on that. Now that I got
Yeah, well, it's kind of, it's not their fault. What I'm saying, it's kind of annoying that because of said office.
oh, that's not. I was dealing with this guy and everything is where I was going on the story. But when you start, I get what you mean. When you started that, I forgot where I was at.
Oh, I didn't say anything until you said you got lost.
Yeah,
I said afterwards.
yeah.
Yeah, but either way, again, like I said, there's no special NVI machine that they said. We were there, and again, everything was fine. Everything. They were really nice at that one.
I forgot where I was going with the story.
They're really nice.
Yeah, they were nice.
They're super nice at that branch. Yeah. Hey, smile and be happy. Thumbs up. Yeah, guys. Again, give us a thumbs up. Makes Heidi happy. Share, like, or rather, don't subscribe. Don't comment. Don't share. Said hello, beautiful people. Hey, Mike, how you doing, Mike? Good morning, all. Victor C. Good morning, Heidi and George. Hey,
Good morning.
Kay Dallas. Good morning. Sarah Tyson says hello, Heidi and George from freezing, windy New. Oh, you're
Yeah,
in.
she's back in New
Oh,
York. Yeah.
yeah, it's freezing. It's
Ugh.
freezing over there. Yeah. No. Victor C says liked.
So I'm sitting here with this.
Smile and be happy says USA combined Washington and Lincoln 2 birthdays and holidays in one holiday, and then use the same day for MLK. Just a bill. All right. Sherlock Holmes. The game is afoot. Earn Doggy Fool. What's up, people? What's
There
up?
you go, bacon bits.
Bacon
not
bits.
Bacon strips. There you go. He's
Bacon
making
bits. Wow, you guys ain't right. I love and I miss bacon bits or bacos. Either or will do, but I miss that. I used to eat that stuff every day.
Well, they have them here. You just have to look for it.
Yeah, Rizzo Family Channel. Georgie, like a spot. Hey, like a spot. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Jammer Travel said.
Did you?
Yes, I put that way earlier along with Ted. Yes. Jammer Travels. Greetings from Pennsylvania, USA. LB Power says in 2 years. This was brought up because of the pets. In 2 years, I have 5 cats, 4 found on the road, kitties, and 1 showed up at my door. And he says, everything is Philippine. He says loud. This we who was this? This Filipino cat walks around the house screaming for no reason. Who was that? Do you remember who we had like that? We did have one, the rescue kitties, and it was like
it was
that.
Asia. That's all she did was scream.
Oh,
so
right.
We rescued her
She's
from
still
the
here.
cafe. We tried to put her in the house, and I think she was so street like you that she just kept screeching as she went through the house. Like all she did was like she was dying or something. And so we opened the door. She went back out, and she's been outside. So she was already a stray wherever she was at when we picked her up. She wasn't exactly in trouble. She was being fed all the time, but we was afraid she was going to get hit there on MacArthur. So we brought her over here. So she was in the back streets, like off the main roads. And she didn't like being inside. She just meow, meow, meow everywhere she went in the house. And she still does it outside. She's really like got a big mouth and everything.
Yeah.
But she's,
So yeah, we've had that experience before. He'll be the Fire 2.0 says, dude, I've seen bikes using strobe lights as a headlight. Yes, that's why I said don't if you really shouldn't be driving around if you're prone to seizures because of strobes. Also,
Just you shouldn't be on a bike, period. When I mean the guy's got 6 months to a year. He's probably even got less than that right now. According to him, it's in stage 3 on even his heart issues, let alone cancer. And so he's got multiple medical conditions, and I wouldn't.
well, I mean, we're not the only ones saying this. Just so you guys know, I mean, there's a lot of people saying, "Dude, you probably shouldn't be on the road." But on the other side of the foot, what I'm saying also, if you are one of those people want to install, like Hillbilly says, if you want to install a strobe light for your headlight, um, first off, it's not really legal. It's technically not legal. Any modification on a motorcycle is illegal. Again, don't attack me. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you how it is. You don't have to listen. Any modification on a bike is illegal. Now, the ones that install these lights have a switch, a hidden switch, where it goes back to OEM, where it doesn't strobe anymore. So when the cop inspects it, it doesn't do that. That kind of deal. Yeah. Well, I'm just letting you know what's legal, what's not legal. You guys, you see those guard rails on bikes? You're not allowed to do that here. You're not even allowed to put in a windshield. That's illegal.
But they do.
But they again do what you want.
90%.
I don't write the rules. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you the law. But anyway, um,
Or somebody put a strobe light on me.
Ruby, good day, Heidi and
Hi,
George.
Ruby. I'm still trying to wake up. Them kittens are getting bigger. They kept me up part of the night last night. You can just hear them in there. I can hear them squeaking and squawking. And I got to figure what to do with these guys because she is an outdoor cat. We only brought her in again for the birth that happened before. That's what happened with Lena, the Lena cat. We brought her in, and the next thing you know, we had 5 cats in the house. Now we've got 4 new cats, and the kittens are getting big.
Yeah. Now I did say this back then. Maybe Filipino Peace says you can get a job at circus as a tattooed man. Those hats are high dollar. Well,
Maybe that's where a lot of the money went.
well, what I'm saying, well, it depends. But sadly, it's it's kind of common now. That's what I'm getting at, even in the Philippines. Mhm. Back
Yeah.
then, yeah, but now it's kind of, you know. The professor says I'm 100%, and my friend passed away, and the VA told his wife she would receive her money from them. Ruby says, kind of ironic that a lot of expats in the Philippines who takes responsibility or accountability with their actions.
A lot of income. I'm just curious why he's selling. I mean, I guess we could put his stuff back up as we're talking. Run that clip through because there's probably a lot of people. It's 38 minutes in.
Huh? Yes.
Yeah, just
Hold on, I forgot to.
yeah, we're just gonna run the photos that we have. He ran an Angeles City expat clip.
Yeah, now just real quick, see this bike right here? He bought this OEM. It's like a neon green. He had all this custom job done to it, just so you guys know. So he didn't buy it used. I believe he bought it brand new. See, there it is right there. Yeah, he was in cavalry, I believe. That's a big giant pool, guys. That's where he usually gives his dogs a bath. There's the bike.
Yeah, I forgot why that one was in there. Just I grabbed a bunch of the clips from the.
I mean, he's got nice tats. I mean, give him props for that. I believe he's part of a ministry.
He said that yeah, he is.
Ted says I'm 100%. He does not get what's called the IC.
Oh, you think? Yeah, it's another thing. He should be able to pay them then if he's getting all that extra for I never paid attention that they're getting all those
Yeah.
benefits.
Paychecks Pepper says there's a full hand palm digital reader that I have had used. My local NBI does not have one. Had to go about an hour away to an office that had one. Maybe it depends. No, everything depends. Everything varies. Everything is per area, per LGU, per
But
district,
here's the
per
thing.
whatever.
It's not true for this area. So when we went to that office, they said that all expats had to have that. And that's not true. I just went to the NBI on Clark and they said that's not true. So if that was true, then they would have made me do that. So I had to miss an appointment that was paid for. So no big deal. It was only a few
500.
hundred.
Yeah.
No, it's, I don't know how much, a couple hundred pesos. I think it's
Yeah.
under 300 pesos that you pay online. And so, but it was a fact that I had waited for that appointment at Angelus, got in there, and then I had to wait to get into the next appointment that I just went to, and that we had to go, which is not, I mean, it's still 8 miles away. And so we went over there to Clark, but now I got to wait another 30 days, and it puts me into a position of applying at the last minute. I should.
Right.
And
It's
I
because
tried in January. And so, in other words, I am applying 6 months in advance, but now the NBI things held me up. So, the Palm thing, I don't get because this other office said that that's not true. So, I get you're saying that. But see, here's the thing that I'm curious of. You're saying that I don't get it. I don't get it. So,
well, you have to remember what they tell him and what is actually going on are two different things too. Sometimes they make up excuses.
he said, I have had used. He's saying they did use it on him.
Correct. And, but what I'm saying is the same thing is probably what's going on with him too. Hold on.
I have no idea, but it's all a bunch of shit because all it did was set me back by a month. So
Yeah, and not to our fault, but it's because of actually technically it is their fault, but you know, because they don't have their stuff together.
well, I'd have been really pissed if we had to make the full trip to Manila and then back to Manila to pick it up in a month. So that'd have been costly for us. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. Earlier, when I was talking about the trip to Clark and going through all that, I was going to say that we were going to pay somebody to take us out there and a full air conditioned van or whatever round trip, and he'd have waited for us out there. I think he said 1,200
It's a lot.
for you. It is. I mean, I get the cost wise, but it's still $20. That's really cheap for the U.S. It's
No,
not
if
cheap
you
for
have
us.
if you do Grab, yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's reasonable.
It's double the price of Grab. The reason you would is because it's personal service. Like if we'd have took a Grab out there just so either of us weren't driving, then in that manner you have to stand and wait around for the
No,
next
I'm
one to
aware.
pick you up.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to start to say is that if he gave his motorcycle up and that's his reasoning, hiring a private car here is still really inexpensive. Even going over to Manila and to Makati, and we had a private driver that waited around or whatever, still cost us less than $100. And in the United States, it'd be an arm and a leg. I mean, just running to the airport one way back a couple years ago was $60, $70, $80. So it just depends. But that's what was going through my head earlier. I was like, I knew I had something. I've been on new medication, so sorry guys. My floating memory here, but so hey Scott in the house, what is going on?
Hillbilly Pyro says I have eaten a whole container of Bako bits before. Right? Gotta love that stuff.
Yeah.
Pine Eddie says good morning.
Good morning and a big welcome to our members. What is going on?
Ted says dependence and indemnity compensation is what a widow is eligible to apply for. It's not his benefits. Arm Doggy Fool says hope Bacon stays away from the Geomatic.
What's the Geomatic?
The Geomatic, the flashlight. Guys, I say flashlight because I'm trying to be politically correct here, but I know what it is. But he's talking about the flashlight.
Oh, you're
The
talking about you're talking about the kinky, freaky
the
toys that
toy,
you know about.
right?
George is a freak. I'm gonna put that out there right now. George is a freak. He is a Filipino freak at heart. They are freaky here, and you are freaky.
Yeah.
That's that's me being nice.
Ruby says, isn't it a requirement to have a vehicle roadworthy before renew registration? Yes, of course. Of course. Hillbilly Power
Nothing
says,
that 500 pesos won't take care of.
well, okay, and Hillbilly Pyro
Have some
says
coffee.
they set up a road check down the road from my house. Often, you always know when you see bikes pulled over for miles waiting on them to go away. No, they do checkpoints here like I would say every other day, the least. No, really, it's kind of annoying. Annoying if you're a biker, unless you're a big bike. That's somewhat what do you call it? A classic. Again, it's not racist, it's classist. Because again, it doesn't matter whether you're Filipino or an expat. If you have a big bike, they let you through.
If you have a big white woman, they let you through.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. It's more of a big bike thing than anything. Yeah.
Talk about me.
No,
Like
I know
usually when we
that.
go to the MBI or something, like they take us in pretty quick
Yeah.
and stuff. They did yesterday and they
But
did the
yeah,
other one.
so yeah, again,
It's a joke.
they do checkpoints here a lot. It's kind of annoying. Pauline MDL, thumbs up. Hillbilly Pyro says it's crazy how many drive with no license or paperwork for the ride, no plates. Not well, the no plates thing is somewhat like a, and because it's most of the time it's really not the driver's fault. Um, it's hard to get a plate here. It's kind of weird like that. That's why I tell everybody when you purchase a bike, a motorcycle, buy a pre-registered one. What does that mean? It's easy. If you get a pre-registered one, it costs extra. However, when you purchase the bike and roll it out of the lot, it already has a plate on it. Now, if you purchase a bike without the plate on it, it literally takes years. You're lucky if you get it within 3 years.
Hey Scott, stay off of Angeles City Expat. They're having a conversation. I'm looking more up about Mr. Bacon. But yeah, someone asked why did they rename Walking Street? Because they've been warning you guys about it for the last 4 years. They were going to do Red Street. I just still think it's freaky them renaming it that.
I think it's silly. I don't like the name.
And I didn't take a good look at the sign. Did they add a bunch of bar names to that through the Wolfpack and stuff, or was that the Wolfpack adding that on
I wouldn't know. I don't.
in the thumbnails?
I'm not. Well,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
say
say
you're
I'm not. I'm not a bar guy, but I'm not a Walker Street guy. That's for sure.
Cute.
He's so ugly. He's cute.
Poor guy.
Our Philippine journey in the U.S. In the U.S., if a patient had seizure, their license is pulled for 1 year or until proof of seizure meds with doctor's note. There you go.
God. Have you seen this?
Oh, well. Now it's just social media stunts.
That's disgusting.
No, that's why what we said. Like if you're prone to seizures, you probably shouldn't be riding a motorcycle. Or driving at all. But again, we don't know the condition. We don't know what. I don't know. I really don't know. Philip Macy says, I have a question about age gap. If the Filipinos over 40, then does age gap still matter?
Mm, yes and no, but usually, like we said, anything over the age of 30, a Filipina or Filipino guy start to mature. So 40 would be. My problem is with the ones that are, 22 and they're 64, or, like there's a 30, 40, 50 year age gap or something that's something out of the way. But I don't know. It still could cause problems, yes. If that's still what do you think?
Well, I don't. Does it matter as far as society concerned? No. But does it matter as in the relationship? Depends also on the person. I mean, there's some really well educated, it depends because the real issue with age gaps is again, it's the connection. If there's no connection or the connection's unstable, then it doesn't matter what age you guys are. It's not going to work.
It shows here that Larry did make a post January 20th. He actually outright asked people, how many people have seen a bad accident and then stopped to save lives in the Philippines? The answer tells you a lot about a person. So he's questioning people, being he's been in supposedly two bad accidents, 240 comments on that
That's
situation.
that's a selfish point of view, and I don't mean I'm not. I'm gonna tell you how it is. If there's an accident, unless you're a medical professional, or unless the car is burning and you need to drag somebody out of a burning car,
You're just back in traffic.
don't help because you could actually be causing more permanent damage to the person.
Well,
You can actually kill the person just by moving them, unless you're a medical professional.
It says here, he responds, the guy that we're talking about today says, I saved two people. So he put the post on there to talk about, and I did call this out earlier. Remember, I said this character, he has a certain character traits or something. I saved two people on a motorcycle. Motorcycle hit a guy not looking, crossing the road in San Fernando. And then it says La Union, and I saved four guys, two trike collisions in Cebu. So here he is. He has saved person
Okay.
after person after person, just
So-
like he's talking about his injuries. I got ran over by a truck. Like, if you guys didn't hear me in the beginning, for those that just joined,
Save and help are two different things, though. I mean, did he help him? Probably, yeah. Did he save him? Well,
because according to him, two dump trucks ran over his legs in 1987 in the Philippines. A hit and run. 18 months to walk. In 1989, he was in Subic, got thrown from his motorcycle in an accident. He broke his neck in 6 places, and here he is.
right.
But it says here the police showed up and didn't know what to do. So he's claiming here that the girls here in Angeles City have been hit by cars. Later, I hired a caregiver for her. Also in Bohol, a girl fell through a bamboo floor, cut her leg near her private areas to her knees, almost to the bone. I seen a Pinoy chewing on bark, ready to put the juice in the wound. I slapped it out of his hand. I got a trike and took her to the hospital. The doctor told I will return, that he said that he's going to return. So he's claiming that he went back and paid the bill for that. So now we know why he's broke. According to him, he's been paying for stuff for people, but he can't afford his own stuff right now. The doctor told the family I saved her by knocking that bark juice out of his hands. I am ex-Army Cavalry Scout. Why would you go on there and all this statements of saving? When you do it, you don't sit around and talk about it. So he created a comment on the Expat forum to sit around and talk about all that. Kind of odd.
Well, I find it odd that it was his own post, and he responds to it.
That's what I mean, which is a narcissistic trait.
Well, I mean,
The same with this is just me. I could say whatever the hell I want. When I see the big bike, when I see all the tattoos, when I see him posting the post about all the stuff, and I mean, I get him selling his stuff, but I'm curious how he can afford to pay other hospital bills when he's trying to sell used fish tanks and equipment that looks to be 25 years old to make money when he's got incoming money like that. So
And that's
just my personal opinion on
helping.
it.
That's not saving. There's a difference.
Right.
I mean,
So yes, he created
No.
his.
Can you help people? Yeah, of course. Feel free to it. I mean, obviously these people can walk, get up, and
And
enough that
then
you can take them to a trike. Yeah, fine. Yeah, but when you're saying save, you're talking about like save.
somebody
Like,
came in under the same thing and said, when a slimy Filipino on a scooter smashed my left hand, and then they tried to get away. Larry comes back and says, on a different topic, I was a victim of a terrorist act in 2002 in this city. He's talking about in the Philippines in Angel City.
okay,
Right. So he just flipped into, I don't know, but that tends to be his responses. So he's,
for it to be that type of attack, it has to be a statement of a kind, aka, is he that important that somebody attacked him to make a statement?
I have challenged, this is Larry again, Mr. Bacon saying, I have challenged many police here. Why they pick and choose who they enforce the laws on. That's another thing, guys. Don't challenge the police here. Don't do what Larry
Don't challenge the
does.
police, period. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Hush up, boy, hush up. No, but here, okay, no, I got that. Well, you can't. I mean, there's limits and everything, but it's you. I mean, this is not the place. On a side note, did anybody see, and this reminds me of foreigners in foreign countries, did anybody see that one woman, that Muslim woman that showed up to, she's like in her mid 30s and she showed up for a 19-year-old boyfriend online in, it's either Pakistan or something. And the Islamic woman showed up, and when she got there, the guy was like, no way. And she was actually over there by herself. She insisted on meeting with all these government officials, and she was doing press meetings and everything else, telling them that she wanted X amount of money to do this, and that. It was like way out there, but she was challenging all kinds of stuff in these foreign countries, demanding stuff to be done about this and that. She actually demanded press meetings and stuff. And all of a sudden, this self-importance situation, it was just crazy. But it kind of reminds me of like the situations that go on here culturally, or things that have been happening for years and years and years. You're not going to be able to change these things. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't like the way things are, how they pick and choose and all this, and that. And on a daily basis, you can get frustrated. But yeah, I don't follow along with somebody to challenge an actual police officer here. It's not very smart.
Yeah. Ruby says, "Oh, hey Curtis, how you doing? Hello again. Good
Hey,
morning
good
from
morning.
Zamboanga del Norte." Scott and Isaac World says, "Yes, they call it Red Street." Ruby says he obviously didn't take responsibility on his own welfare. Timothy Rogers says about this guy is very suspect. Clutch Dog says, "Sounds like he's trying to profit from his own virtue, signaling maybe."
There's something up. I called it him being narcissistic, or I'm just probably using off words right here, but there's something about,
Well, I think it's
like all of his
yeah.
comments in here, he's answering. There's 240 comments. I guarantee half of them are
Well,
him
yeah.
responding to people.
Well, that's what I mean. Let me make a post, a question post, and let me answer it myself.
Hey, maybe I should go in there and do that and say, how many of you guys don't like big white women from the United States?
And then you answer yourself. Yeah.
And say, I don't like them at all as a white woman. We'll challenge that today. I'm going to go, there you guys go. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to challenge and see how many guys are riled up. And then, here, let me go in there and do that. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So,
the Filipino piece says,
we'll do an experiment.
Lots of self-promotion from this army cook. Well,
let's see.
I mean,
I'll make them writing the note to do it later.
Like I said, I don't know who he is or what he really was, but it's kind of
dating white women, and do you like them? Dating American women.
I mean, it's just odd, you know what I'm saying?
And then
It's
go in and
very
say, I don't
weird.
like them at all, and I am an American woman, and get them all riled up and see if we can get him really riled up the way he does, and just for
Right.
an experiment. So we'll call that an experiment. Are you down to no comments? Okay, so let's.
Well, I was reading the relevant ones, but yeah.
Wow, here's somebody who responded like you did. No one should stop and help. That's what he just said. Should be the
The only ones,
actual,
yeah,
the
unless
actual
you're
trained
medically
ones.
trained or you have to
There
have
is
emergency
no
training.
good Samaritan law here in the Philippines that says you touch them and they die, they will charge you with their death, and you also be blamed on any missed stuff happening.
Yeah, but mind you, this is saving lives. There's a difference between helping and saving. If somebody got cut and you take them to the hospital, that's not saving their life. You're helping them. You know what I'm saying? Saving is different.
Well, but if you pick them up off the ground after something happens and then something, they can
Well,
still say you're
that's
involved.
why I
Especially
said
if it's a young
they're
person
moving on their own
underage.
accord. That's why I said earlier.
The best
Obviously,
thing
they're walking
is
around.
we're not saying not to help.
Yeah. Now, if they're drowning, that's a different story, but same thing applies. If they're drowning, unless you are trained to save a drowning person, don't. You know why? It doesn't matter how good you are at swimming. If you don't know how to rescue somebody, you're going to drown too.
Here's the next reply. So after they said the Good Samaritan thing, a lot of people came in and said agree, but here comes Larry again.
Oh, Mr. Bacon.
Here comes Mr. Bacon. He
Mr.
says,
Bacon.
I have saved my share of Pinoys, and they thanked me for it.
Help again is different from saving.
Right, but that's not narcissistic or him.
Well, that's what I said. The fact that
and they
you're
have
calling
thanked
it
me for it.
saving, I mean, that
Yeah.
you know how many people I've saved then? Is that the case? I saved what? Oh my gosh!
You saved me.
I saved 2 kids yesterday.
You saved me.
I mean, that's a
The day that I met you, you saved my soul, and you're the sweetest person on
oh my
on
gosh!
earth. And you
Lies,
saved.
lies.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'm saving
lies. Go drink your lie juice. And everybody in the room will agree. There's a difference between helping somebody and saving them. Everybody in the room will agree with me on that one. I mean,
anybody want some community coffee? There you go. Take a drink.
because I changed somebody's
There you
tire,
go.
does that constitute me saving? No, I helped them. That's not saving somebody. And you know how many lives I've saved in the U.S. Then I mean, no, you don't. You can't claim you saved somebody. That's helping somebody. Too many crickets, man.
Oh shit! What is this? Somebody added a form or something here. So if you're the one, So then it's a challenging back and forth. He comes back and says, so Mr. Bacon says, so if you're the one that is dying from the injuries, you don't want nobody to help you? I'm surprised he didn't mention his legs being run over by 2 dump trucks. He didn't mention the dump truck.
See, that's the key word, dying. In order to save somebody, they have to be dying.
2 dump trucks, and he was okay afterwards?
I was wondering about that. But then again,
although he did
it could be a dump tricycle. I don't know. We don't know. It could be a dump tricycle. We run. You know, we encounter dump tricycles every day.
That is true.
Just saying. Okay, there's dump trucks and there's dump trucks. If you know what I mean. Do they have dump trucks here? Yes, like the U.S. Yes, but
oh my God. Here's somebody that says,
is it a dump vehicle? Maybe I don't know about a dump truck now. I mean, a dump truck is a dump truck. I'm saying, guys, are there dump trucks in the field? Yes, they're the same ones like in the field in the U.S.
Scott said dump trucks, Tonka brand.
Oh dang! Right.
Oh, Clutch Dog said, did the dump truck run over all 3 legs?
Oh dang!
Right. Hi.
That's
good
hilarious.
morning, Laura.
Yeah.
challenging a person's authority who has a gun, club, spray, cuffs, etc., them little dang tannoid sticks, is being arrogant bully of a sort, which with a wish to maybe be hurt or feelings like pushing limits of Heidi and George, right, Laura? No, there's because he's in here talking about other things. He's talking about challenging the police also over the helmet laws or other people, but you just can't. Do you realize I would literally turn blue in the face, then purple, and die before I could get anything even close to changed in this country? We were just talking about the amount of money supposedly they're supposed to be investing in some of these public government hospitals and some of the roads and all that, and how much money is allotted for these things, and somehow it doesn't get done. They end up with new cars in other parts of the government, but it's, government is government here. So all you can do is like mind your business in your side of the house. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the conversations we're having today or on social media, but my problem is the direct channels that say do this and do that. So in other words, there are some harsh channels out there that'll say challenge the police or challenge immigration and don't take that crap and don't do this. And I mean, although we've given advice, it's never been that direct. We're mostly speaking about our experience,
Right.
like you as a Filipino and it's me as an American. But this guy, it went from me, I'm like, bite my tongue today because he served in the military. I was like, dang, that's a long time ago, which
Yeah.
doesn't change anything. But the guy served in the military, and I'm like, okay, I get it. When you look at the first soft part of the situation, he's a dying man and he's a military man. But then you add in that he's in here, seems to be on a daily basis doing something like this and going through. And wouldn't you be spending your time heading to Boracay with that kind of money or doing some things instead of sitting on Facebook? Or I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be.
No, I mean, yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you be off with your caregiver or whatever, going and doing things and doing other situations and I definitely wouldn't be taking risk on a bike no more. I mean, how many times has he been hit on a bike now? All this stuff is bike riding that he's
Well,
been
it's
doing.
possible. I mean, it's possible he got hit. I mean,
I'm not saying that he didn't.
I'm
I
not
just
saying he
wouldn't be the-
didn't, but
You would continue on a bike after that?
it depends. But there's a lot of questions I have.
If it happened and you really were hit that many times and you went through that much pain and rehab
Well,
and
it
you're still in
depends.
pain.
It depends. Like I
Okay,
said.
what would be if you had that kind of money to get an oversized van or
Okay.
privately drove everywhere, would you
let's
continue to ride
let's
a motorcycle?
rephrase things. Okay, shall we? If the exact instance as this person claims happened to me, the answer is no. If the exact instance that how this person describes it to me,
Yes, if it was.
no, for a lot of reasons. One,
Yeah.
technically, it's not logical. Like, I wouldn't be able to ride the motorcycle if what this person claims
Yeah, he said his
happened
foot
to
was
me. I wouldn't be
cut,
able to
like
even
severed.
ride. Will I be able to ride a motorcycle? Yes, a small bike, not a big bike anymore, because the legs at that point it's so severe. I won't be able to ride a big bike. But can I ride a scooter? Maybe, yeah, but not a big bike. So there's differences there, guys. Again, it's kind of like the same thing when the cops. You don't challenge a police officer.
He
but
said he broke his neck in 6 places.
Well,
and yeah, but that's long-term pain. You don't want to be
the-
bounced around on a bike. I'm sorry.
like I said,
I got some
there's-
bad knees and I don't want to be bounced around in the car now on pavement here, let alone on a motorcycle roasting out.
Well,
the
that's why I
sun.
said it's how he says things.
He really loves that bike.
If that happened to me, what he says in his wordings, no, the answer is no. But it's kind of like the same thing as Pinetti's trying to make a point here, and the cats you saved. That's the key word.
Yeah.
Obviously his vernacular is not the same as ours, because from my understanding, saving and helping are two different things in his vernacular, same thing as his accidents, in his words, are different from what I perceive. And again, I'm not picking on the guy, but I'm just saying, if from what I know,
Somebody here says he goes in Rome. He says we just drive around like everybody else, like we just drive around it. Yeah, you let the police, and if especially like when we were in the United States, when we already see people out there, you don't jump out
well,
there.
can you do something about it? Yes. For example, actually, it was on social media. You actually showed it to me. There's this accident.
Several. There's a guy on fire one time. And
No, actually, no. This is something else. No, this wasn't on social media. So anyway, what happened was there's an accident. The motorcyclist fell. Something happened. He tried to avoid somebody. His motorcycle tumbled, and he hurt himself. He was on the ground laying.
Oh yeah.
No, not that one. Not that one. That's what I was getting at. Now, did the person run and pick him up? No. What he did was better. He drove his motorcycle, put in emergency lights, and put it sideways in front of the guy. And he stood there and waited until the cops come over and the ambulance come over and take the guy away. And then the cops ask him, says, "Why'd you do that?" He says, "They won't see him. They'll run him over." That's helping somebody. Okay, again, not saving him, but he helped him, but he helped him the right way.
Unlike that one that you are thinking about.
Yeah, that's the different one. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
the
one on
other
social
different
media.
one was
Yeah.
real. Yeah, where
See, if somebody did that for him, he wouldn't have gotten hit.
yeah, there was someone standing there just looking around.
Yeah, see,
and
that's
another car hit him.
yeah. The
and
guy stood there and videotaped the guy and didn't help him, and then he got hit. You know, but anyway.
But the response from Larry on the one about driving around it, he goes, "Well, not sure what your comment said, but I hope nobody helps you out if you're in an accident." So then he's wishing ill on top of people on top of that, but yet he's kind of. I mean, if you're gonna be dark, just be dark. I'm just gonna be dark right out. But it's kind of I hope nobody helps you out, dude. So he created the post. So in other words, the guy's super bored. He's creating posts to go in and be like a superhero like complex. And then he's going in and, hey, I hope nobody like waiting for problems in the comments and then going on after it, Getting along.
You
Oh shit, someone said, does Vietnam War count?
You guys are hilarious. Pinetti says he was driving the dump trucks and ran over everybody. David Anderson says, "Why do most guys blog as soon as they come there? They don't have enough money to live there." I find it crazy because the guy go broke. No, it's
people are doing it for free.
That's
kind of like me. The reason, like for the social media, there's not a whole lot coming in. I think total that George that's actually come in, including everything. If we had to add everything with PayPal, probably less than 8,000 in 4 years, 8,000 US dollars. So it's not. We both do it.
That's total, guys.
That's total. That's after taxes. Total in 4 years, 8,000 US dollars. So it is
4
not
years.
even,
5 years.
Well, that's true. I'm talking about after monetization and everything. So yeah, you're right. I've stopped
5
counting.
years. No, well, it's the new year, so it's
right.
kinda...
So yeah, going into maybe even close to 5 years
Yeah.
of having social media accounts. And we do it to actually help. I do it because I like to talk with people. I like to gossip. I like to chat. I like to do the whole 9 yards. I mean, sue me for it, for Christ's sake. But it's where it is. So I think a lot of them are bored. I told George a lot of it for a lot of these guys that won't admit it, talk about, oh, it's not for a paycheck. I can say the same thing too. And that's not what it's really about. I do it because sometimes I am bored. At least I'm being honest and straight up about it. And I do it because it's my thing. Being I have my own medical conditions. I have multi-medical conditions where I can't even be out in the sun more than 15, 20 minutes. It'd be the same here. It'd be the same in Florida. It doesn't matter where I'm at. So I would still be mostly home confined because of my medical issues. Okay. So, but we do it for the social. Is it socialism? I don't want to sound like communism. Socialism, being social. Am I making another new word?
Well, no, that's socialism is different. Yes.
What's socialism?
Yeah, it's like
Being social, to socialize with people.
no, that's yeah, it's a lot like communism. It's harder to explain, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Come here. Just kidding. So, anyways, I'm doing it for socialism.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Tony Manning says, "Good evening, everyone. I'm a little late." Now, Angelo says, "Got a scooter, 100-kilometer, fun to drive in the Philippines. Do I need a license for that?" Yes and no. Okay, you just arrived in the Philippines. I'm not saying you, Angela. I'm just giving a scenario. Let's say you just arrived in the Philippines. You have now to rent a scooter. Just keep in mind being able to rent a scooter or motorcycle and being to legally drive one are two different things.
Dang.
Can you rent a scooter or a bike with your driver's license? Yes. Are you legally allowed to drive your scooter or a bike when you arrive here with your driver's license? Only if you're within the first 90 days and only if your license is
Says
rated that you
yes.
are allowed to drive a scooter or a bike or a tricycle.
How are they renting these scooters?
You can rent anything. It's like me. When can you rent a boat with my driver's license? Yes.
But they're supposed to have an additional license.
Correct.
But they don't do
Being
anything.
able to obtain one and legally drive one or pilot one are two different things.
That's still up to you. PH Expat Prepper says, for me, YouTube is fun. Pretty much, yeah, and something to do. I agree. Retirement needs various interests to keep you sane. No, that's pretty much for me because I've been back and forth with trolls, people, fans, and they ask me why I do it, and they go back and forth and say it's work. This is not even part time that we actually do. We do a couple hours a week and we have fun at it because we said, a lot of people in the past have, claimed and blamed that it's our only source of income and that it's the only additional thing we have. We have put our screenshots, and if you guys want them, go look for them yourself. But we have put them up and shown you guys like what we're making each month, and we're not. I mean, it's a few $100s, and most of it's dumped right back into the cats. And then it's just where it's at, guys. Cats,
most of the
dogs,
cats in the community, really.
and anything additional, we say we use it to do our little weekend trips and things that we've shown you guys. And so, we always appreciate community, but I guess it's about community.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what he says here. Somebody says, there's a guy named Keith that says, keep on heroing heroes. Good luck. Ask yourself this: how many of you hold up traffic rubbernecking and looking at these accidents, and you hold up traffic and it causes problems, right? So Mr. Bacon comes in and he says, I can't wait until you have a life-threatening accident. That's another dark statement there. That's twice he's actually made these comments. What does that mean to you when you hear somebody say that?
Yeah.
Right, but I was saying that he
No,
is
I mean,
very narcissistic. It's weird
mean-
that he puts. I'm probably using the wrong words, guys, by saying he's about himself, and maybe I'm using the wrong. But it seems like he used his own deal and then put out a statement of how he saves people's lives
It's
and pays the bills.
self-promoting, self-righteous.
Okay, and
You know,
then he goes in and
again,
attacks the
I'm
ones
not
that responded.
calling him that. I'm just saying that type of behavior is self-promoting and self-righteous.
Okay, so yeah, when somebody said what he wanted, he told him God bless you afterwards. So this guy says another guy says he's in the province. I live on a curvy mountain and there were constant accidents. He said one morning I heard a loud crash, and when I went to the road, there was a van flipped over and they were going to a wedding. So sad. Got inside the van with a few of our neighbors and tried to get everyone out. Several of the women were injured. An ambulance took forever to get there, and it said that he had helped them. it says here later, a local newspaper come to find out who there was a foreigner that helped. It said that he was put in the newspaper. And then that's when Larry came through and said, "May God bless your heart and may you be an example to others." I want to remind you that he is some sort of, as I'm to understand, he's a religious guy. He might even be a preacher, an evangelist, or something. So it is also weird for him to go through and say, "Hey, I hope you're in, you're never in an accident and stuff." Is that actually how
No,
preachers are supposed to act?
no, no. You're not supposed to self promote. And again, pay attention to the word verbiage of that other person. And I'm focusing on the other person. His wording is helped. Helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clutch Dog says you do it for the social interactions, not socialism. And like a spot says, to be sociable, hopefully not socialism. American-Filipino says socialism is an umbrella term. Communism is a form of socialism. Socializing. PH Expat Prepper. As a prepper, I have fairly diverse first aid kit in the car as well as other things. Oh crap! I really should have a first aid kit in the car. Thank you for reminding me. I used to have a first aid kit in the car at all times. As well as other things. I certainly stop and assist where I could. Yeah, stop and assist. Right. That's what I'm saying. Just pay attention to how people speak. For example, Page Expert says, stop and assist. He didn't say, I would certainly, save a life where I could. No, it's the verbiage. You have to pay attention to how people speak.
Thank you,
You know
American
what I'm
and
saying?
Vinay. He said,
I
"So."
mean,
Sorry.
no, I mean, yeah. Yesterday I saved 2 lives because I was driving in the neighborhood, and while I was driving in my rearview mirror, I see these 2 little girls running after me. So I saved 2 lives. I stopped the car, and they're like, "We want some candy." So I gave them 20 pesos each and say, "Here, buy some candy." Saved a life. Saved two Filipino kids' life.
Anyways, socialism is an
I'm
umbrella
kidding,
term
obviously.
for communism is a form of socialism. Gotcha. I just said the wrong words. Thank you. And George was saying that socializing. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not socialism. I was, I guess who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I am a communist. I don't know. Although we did discuss that, I've got my own theories. I didn't know. You know what? I didn't even think of it that way. Remember, we had that conversation a few months back, and I said, you know what? I wish there was like where everybody, all had like the same clothes, and that way there was no fashion fighting and all, keeping up with the Joneses, and everybody had certain jobs given out and the same salaries and this and that. And I said, how I believe that everybody should be this is that, and you said that is a form of communism.
It's communism. There's
And
nothing wrong with communism in a perfect world. There's
yeah,
nothing wrong with
where people
democracy
aren't
in a perfect world. It's not the
a universal pass or whatever. I was saying also that I believed everybody should have a universal passport, one type of
a one world
money, and
government. There's nothing wrong with a one world government in
kind
a
of like a
perfect world.
combination,
The key word is in a perfect world, but we're not perfect people.
Right. So it's,
So yeah,
here is Larry in a post that he made. I almost said last month. I keep forgetting it's almost the end of February. Can you believe that we're going into March here soon?
yeah.
It says, I was advised to use this group to see if anyone wants to buy my items. He says, I am trying to move down south and told I have a year to live or less. So he's got 3,800 in pension he can't afford. I think he was asking people about moving if was to move to Sioux.
I thought he's going back to the U.S.
No, he's already attempted that twice. He's been homeless there twice with that type of pension. Don't you still get your money over there?
Down south.
He's talking about the Subic, I think. I'm 100% disabled vet. I will take photos with prices. P.S. I've lived 40 years in the Philippines.
That Subic was north. I'm pretty
This
sure.
Is here in Angel City. It says
I know
Angel
that.
City. He
Subic is
talked
north.
about 2 places. He asked people where, I believe he had asked at one point. I could be wrong on where he was going.
No, I know. I'm just going to show you.
I used to live in Dumaguete for 2 years. 8 years ago, I moved to Angeles City. I'm by myself. Okay, so as of 2 months ago, he didn't have a caregiver, but yet he did say recently he had a caregiver.
Oh, it did.
And it says here that I've been in the Philippines for 40 years.
It's weird.
Somebody contact him, says, I can help you. I'm a caregiver in Sweden. So she's offering to come take care of him. I actually don't know. Somebody had asked about where he was going. I ride a 650 Ninja and I want to live where I can ride my bike with no heavy traffic. So, I mean, I'm still trying to process being that sick and with all those issues and a bad foot and wanting to ride. I mean, I'm not doubting the man's not sick. I'm just still trying to put it together.
Yeah, he probably wants to go to Cavite, maybe. Oh, that's what
I
I'm
have
guessing.
he's lived everywhere. Cebu,
Yeah. See,
Dumaguete.
this is Angel. That's where Subic is. It's north. But Cavite, I'm guessing he wants to go to Cavite or real south, aka back to Dumaguete, perhaps.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
he's selling everything. He says, I'm selling most of my household
Yeah.
goods, but that was a few months ago. Let me put to the side the bigger items at a reasonable price. The problem in the Philippines is they don't want to pay even reasonable prices.
Well,
A
let's
lot
see.
of this stuff is
That's
old, though.
well,
It's older. I mean, you can only get so much for that in the US. Here, a lot of the expat items, yes, the Filipinos are not going to pay for. So I will see the price minus the usage.
yeah. American-Filipino says communism would certainly be perfect in a perfect world. No, communism would be great, but again, we're not perfect people, so it's not. It doesn't work.
Oh, he's still trying to sell his item.
Well, that's an. I mean, first off, you're never going to get your value back. Period. Second off, you're trying to haggle with mostly people who have less of an income than you ever did. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like common sense.
My ex caretaker, who suddenly took off with no notice after 7 years, is why I have to sell. That's what it says exactly. My ex care, who suddenly took off without notice after 7 years, a month ago, is why I have to sell. She kept telling me nobody would buy my stuff on Marketplace online. That's weird.
No, not for what you want it to. Well, will they buy it? Yes. Will they buy it for the value you want? Probably not even close. You're lucky if you get a quarter of it.
I wish I had a companion or caregiver to help me, question mark. All the posts on here are very touching and kind. This is on Angel City Expat.
Yeah. For example, he has an Epson projector online. I'm a big projector buff. I really am. I actually have high end um, projectors back in the U.S. We don't have any of them here. Why? Oh my gosh! Can you imagine having a high end projector here? You would go broke because of electricity.
Oh man, that's
Literally.
why I'm not getting an
So
air fryer.
what I'm getting at is, for example, the projector. Does he have a good projector? He has in the U.S. He has an okay projector. It's average. Okay, it's not a chintzy one. It's a Epson projector. Will anybody buy it? No, not even close. One, if they knew what how much electricity it'll run, which they they don't know how much electricity it runs, so that doesn't count. But if you're an American, I'll tell you right now, don't bring a U.S. stateside projector unless it's an LED low ACDC outlet type projector. So let's get rid of that. Second, projectors here they have low end projectors, but they have good low end projectors. What I'm saying is, will a Filipino buy it? Yeah, if you're basically giving it away, because they can buy one off Lazada that's somewhat in their head.
things are cheap.
Yeah, in their head is about equal. Again, what I'm saying, what they think. Again, I'm a projector guy, so I know. So they see it on the ads, they're like, oh, this is just as good, and they'll pay, 5,000 for it. But guess what? I'm pretty sure he's not going to sell that projector for 5,000.
It says here in his statements, it's part of what I was thinking is he's claiming it's medical bills, like he was hit with AU with the 50,000, but that's still 1,000 a month. If he's making that, like Ted said, somewhere around the 7,000, even the 3,800, if he had nothing else, I'm still trying to figure why he doesn't have
Yeah, that's about right.
any savings.
50,000 is average for AU. Yeah.
Well, he has other bills, but what I'm saying is if he is bringing in both those checks, then that is for here. That's good money. I'm just surprised.
No, it's good money. But like I said, we don't know his bills. We don't know how much he pays for his dog. So I'm sure he's got some crazy vet bills out there.
Not $7,000. It says here it's still going on about his medical bills, but then here's where he gets to the bottom information. He said, yesterday I was getting money from the bank and was with my caregiver, which I thought he said she just ran off. This is in the same post, same comment section. He's saying he was with his caregiver yesterday. I thought maybe he was talking about another caregiver that ran off. He said, I got to Nepo Mall buying groceries and suddenly my eyes rolled into the back of the head and I began to have a seizure. Next thing I knew, I woke up today not remembering anything after the seizure. Then the caregiver started yelling at me about as usual. And not long after my seizure, she said that I woke up, blah, blah. She said, why sell my items? I read her every single comment on the post and how kind everyone was and willing to help me. So, yeah, he's having seizures and everything else, and at odd points, riding a bike to do it. But
And a big bike of that. I mean, I emphasize that because, well, there's a difference. There's a different type of damage you can cause to yourself and others riding a big bike and you get into a seizure. Just saying.
And then he posted on February 9th, I have several life threatening health problems, cancer, stage 3 heart failure, and I'm trying to sell my furniture to pay my medical expenses for some pain medicine. There's his flat out statement. He's selling things for pain meds. He should have the money for that. It doesn't matter. Kick the dogs out, put the cats out. I rehome them, do something, whatever it is. So he's telling people here that he's selling to get his pain meds. Didn't he just say that he's doing that because he's moving down south? So which is it? Is he selling his stuff to move down south or is it for the pain meds? Because in this one on February 9th, he says it's for pain meds.
Both.
The previous,
He's doing it for both. I'm
Gotcha.
sure.
So I can move to a smaller, it says here, there it is. It says for pain meds and for my heart meds. Also, so I can move to a smaller, cheaper place. Already, Ted just said it's got to be around 7,000 US a month he's living on. Between Social
Well-
Security and disability through the military, he's getting at least $7,000. a
Like I
month.
said, the only way he'll get rid of his stuff if he basically gives it away. I mean, not picking on the guy. I'm just saying it's
Be easier too. If
really,
he's only got a year.
realistically, you really can't sell it for the value you want.
Yeah, it says here it's a pool. It's 2 pools, 10 by 10 by 10, with it's just pipes and plywood is what he's trying to sell. It says here. It's not even a real pool. He's trying to sell the pool. 50-gallon fish tank. I'm 100% disabled vet and I don't live far from Nepo Mall.
The only way he would be able to sell those items if they do it out of the kindness of their hearts, not because they need the stuff.
Yeah, all this stuff is up there in age,
That's
and
what I'm
especially
saying.
with
And
moving and stuff.
it's one of those kind of like, say, let's say for example, if this was in the US, I'd buy the projector off of him just because, not because I need it, just because. I'm like, okay, here you go, and then, okay, well, at least I kind of help you out, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so here's an ideal of why he probably won't sell. It says here, someone asked him how much he wanted for the bed and the bed frame. He said last year, I bought it last year for 25,000. He wants 15,000 for a bed frame. Yeah, Filipinos are not going to spend
No, they're not gonna. Not for a
15,000.
used one. No,
Yeah.
that's what I was getting at. Yeah, because again, remember and understand that perception of value is varies per person.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's
You
just
know,
a simple, it's not nothing.
like I said, a lot of people are into Lazada, and in their heads, they can buy a cheaper brand new one for the same value. Although, obviously, if you buy it from Lazada, it can't be that great. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying?
says somebody here said 3,800 a month from the VA alone.
Right.
So he probably really is.
Yeah. I mean, people don't know value and stuff like that, and he's just not gonna sell it. That's what I was getting at.
1,400 for the aquarium is what he wants. The pool, he said, was very expensive and customized. You've seen the pool, right?
Well, the law is
He
with
paid.
custom, get your custom out of your butt and throw it out the window because nobody gives a
Yeah,
crap
he
about
paid
custom.
50,000. He says he wants to sell that
Oh,
25,000 pesos for that, which you've seen the dogs in.
well, I mean,
Yeah, that's going to be a tough sell.
like I said, well, custom, anything custom, you might as well throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Forget the word custom.
Yeah.
Mhm. I only throw in the word custom if they ask, oh, what kind of bike do you have? Then I tell them, oh, this is my bike. This is the model. It's custom.
Well, I think like Chosen One had said before, one of our regulars, he goes through and wonders why they're actually in that position. Forget that he's a veteran and an American and dying and all of that. A lot of the people here, kind of like me, we kind of look at the overall situation of, I guess it's the same as if a millionaire all of a sudden went broke or a millionaire started having problems, but a monthly income of 200,000 and he needed help. It's kind of like people just start looking like, hey, what happened situation? And he's been given all these benefits for all this time. So I'm kind of wondering why some of these have not kicked in. And him trying to downsize and all that to pay bills and all of that. I get it. I mean, I really actually do. So just, it's just, it's heartbreaking at the same time as you wonder
No, it is.
for him to
It
earn
is.
3,800 from SSDI, he would have to be in the upper tax bracket. The average benefit is 15. The 3,800
It's
is
military. It's
pay.
military
He gets
disability.
military,
Yeah.
and he gets
Yeah.
he gets multi checks.
Yeah. That's
That's
yeah.
just one
3,800 is just like Ted says, it's 3,850
Well, here's
and 30 cents. I think is what he
but
said.
the other
Yeah.
is some sort of caregiver money because you're
Yeah.
not going to get a high end check like that for Social
Eight.
Security
Yeah.
disability because they will count that other
8 in
money.
attendance. Yes.
Yeah,
8 in
but
attendance.
don't they count him having an income? Like me, I'm not allowed to have any other income. They start to count that against me. So, in other words, I understand non-working or not. If I was getting a second check, aren't they going to lower?
Military is different. Again, I wouldn't know much.
Yeah.
I'm not military, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's actually struggling. But the whole point of this conversation in general was just medical and not having the money and being self care. And I'm curious if he's been here for 40 years, that makes me even question even more why, if he's been here for 40 years, disability or not, he didn't try to. Well, it could be because of his disabilities that he didn't try to get some insurance because you can still get insured. That's the puppy sleeping. She's dreaming. She's over there. Her bed's over there by the door now because we have the kittens in their cage that's in the other room. And so the dog's bed got moved.
The rescue kittens.
Yeah.
The stray kittens.
Yeah.
They're just rescue kittens.
But I'm just wondering why something else was done. But we're always going to be like, why, what to do, what not to do, what you could have, woulda, shoulda, coulda situation. But it would seem if he's had this money for so long, why with the nice bike and all the tattoos, because them tattoos did not come overnight. He's been here for 40 years. Them have come why he's lived here. A lot of them, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I mean,
We're assuming a lot of money.
he has Avatar, tattoo, and that's relatively recent.
Yeah. So it's just it's where it is. But then people would do the same with me. If I end up in the hospital, like, oh, we seen Heidi eating at Croissant de Papanga, and she was eating donuts on air, and we don't feel sorry for her. She was getting 2,000 US a month, and we just don't feel sorry for her at all. And then I'd be in the same boat and still on somebody else's show next. I mean, I get it. I mean, I get the situation of, but I'm
Yeah.
still sad and puzzling at the same time.
American P9 says about 3,800 would be correct for a 100% PNT veteran. Um, Earn Doggy Full says we don't need no stinging projectors in the Philippines. We use ceiling mirrors. Curtis says you just had belonging officials come to the gate to campaign for the mayor. You don't want to be on their no list.
Oh, out there. So do you think that's
What?
Oh, that's for the mayor, because there's been guys that have been coming up to the gate.
Yeah, I told you it's election. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody had said something, but it wasn't for the mayor. They said it was the barangay.
That's elections. Yeah.
So we're on their bad list now for me saying no.
I don't know what you said no to.
I don't know either.
You said to there's a basketball
I thought
thing
it was
that
for
they
the
asked for.
that was basketball thing was last week,
Yeah,
but
they
he
ask
said
money
barangay.
usually for uniforms and stuff like that.
Their English was not clear at all. When he said barangay, I said, "Are you guys collecting again for the basketball court?" They shook their heads, so maybe they weren't speaking English. So
Maybe not.
assumed-
Then American P9 says, yeah, we had to give away our furniture when we moved back to the US in May. Yeah, you really were not gonna get your money back. You have to practically give it away.
It's like that in the U.S. too. When a lot of people move here, a lot of our stuff had to be given away. It's
Yeah,
just
see,
it had no value.
and
after
American
6
P9
months.
says, I think someone bought our fridge for 5,000 pesos. Correct. You're not gonna get value back.
He sold the deep freezer, is what he said, and that makes sense. Someone's going to pick up on a stove, the
Yeah.
appliances that they need.
That's
Sure.
yeah, you're not gonna get the value out of it, especially here. Pinetti says he's selfish in everything he does and says, and if he's 100% PNT, he should be able to get affordable treatment through the VA clinic in Manila and free treatment for service-related injuries.
I was wondering why he's not heading to Manila. I mean, here's the thing: if let's say he is getting 7,000 total or 3,800, he could live really, really nice in Manila in a nice condo over there. George, what's the smiling about?
What do you mean? I mean, Cosmo says I just dropped in. Expat suffering from tattoo ink overdose.
Oh, that's what you're grinning about.
Yeah, but I always do that. I always sometimes read a little ahead. But anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, I mean, what did it? Okay, the tattoo and ink overdose. It's because first off, they're tattoo guys, which again, that's their prerogative. But most of the time, it's because they get bored. I mean, what else they're gonna do?
Well, for the 3,800, he could live in Manila really nice and be by the VA instead of making trips. Him and Angela, Cebu, all these other places he's been living in. I mean, his illness didn't come overnight. He said his accidents happened in different years. But either way, I mean, it sounds like he needs to really put some plans together. I mean, wouldn't you live there if you could get more covered by the VA? But doesn't the injuries have to be service connected?
They have to be service related.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering if the heart issues, I wonder if that's covered the skin cancer, pain meds on anything. So whatever his original disability would need to be covered.
I haven't heard anything that maybe. I'm not saying that they're not service related, but I haven't heard anything that's service related. AKA, for example, he has tinnitus because of being in artillery, which I know he's in cavalry. Well, cavalry does sometimes have heavy firepower. They do have tanks and cavalry, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know his conditions, but he hasn't voiced out service related conditions, which in his personality profile he would have broadcasted this already. If
he probably
did,
has on other things. I didn't.
well, what I'm
get through
saying is, if he
everything.
did have service related injuries, he probably would have broadcasted that already. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I served in Nam, and or I was in Iraq, in the Gulf War, and this happened to me, and now they don't want to take care of me. It's that kind of personality. That's what I feel from it. Again, I don't know, but I'm sure you would have said something. That's how it's getting. Yeah. Curtis says, showed my wife videos of garage sales. She has never seen anything like that, right? Yeah, good luck on that one over here. Lou, George, do you have tattoos? No, I do not. I do not believe in tattoos.
I tried. I was going to go get little teddy bears or little panda bears on each one of us, and the answer is no.
Right.
I have
No
one.
tattoos, no piercings, none of that.
I have
I
a
don't-
very
I don't believe in
small
that, yeah.
one that I had the year that my daughter was.
I don't have a problem with it. Have I designed tattoos before? Yes. Do my friends and family have? Not my Filipino side of family. Do basically? Do they have tattoos? Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with them, but that's my personal belief.
Yeah, I have a really teeny tiny
Yeah.
one on my ankle.
That's kind of like if I wear an earring, I should be a prince. That kind of deal. Since I'm not a prince, I don't have earrings. That's my personal belief on tattoos. Same reason. Yeah. Lou says I might get tattoos when I give up on in life. What? Okay, I don't know about that now. I mean, that's a little that's a little much. Again, tattoos, remember, it doesn't it's your preference. I mean, have I thought about getting tattoos? Yes, of course I have. But it's just my belief that I probably never will have tattoos or a piercing. Unless it's a barbell, I guess. But anyway.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We got some editing to do and going to have some breakfast/lunch. And we do appreciate you guys dropping in. And if you guys stayed all the way through, leave a comment and let us know in the comment section later if this is a rewatch and what you guys think. We do appreciate everybody coming through. And thank you to our members coming through. Sarah, hi.
Yeah,
Stay
thanks so
warm.
much. Thanks so much, Ted.
Thank you,
And
Ted.
thank you for the valuable information. Thank you so much, Scott, for being with us.
Thank you, Laura.
Philip Macy, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Laura, so much. And of course, Scott was in the house. Filipina P. Philly in the Philippines was in the house, and our Philippine journey dropped in.
Mike.
Smile and be happy. Victor was in the house. Hillbilly Pyro, good to see you.
Yeah, nice seeing
again.
you, Hillbilly.
And guys, if you haven't thought about it or haven't join our membership. There's a bunch of other videos and old videos of us, and it helps support the channel and helps support what's going on with George's milk and cream habit.
Oh yeah, bye Philip Macy, bye Big Dave, bye Lou. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate
Thank you,
for
guys.
being here.
See you guys soon.
Bye.